doesn't always go as easily as what we're going to show here today, but you'll get an idea of what we do. All our rescues are governed by a code of practice that's issued by Department of Planning and Environment, which issue our licence that the hospital has to rescue and rehabilitate and release koalas into the wild again. So there's a lot of things that we have to do. So one of the big issues for us is to make sure our own personal safety as well while we're looking after the koala. So the first thing we'll do when we get to a rescue site is we'll locate the koala, and in this case it's just in a fork in a tree here. We'll do a quick scout around because when we're rescuing the koala we're going to be looking up most of the time. So we just do a quick look around, make sure we know where all the hazards are, we're not tripping over logs or there's big potholes we're going to stick foot in, and make sure we're safe as well. Also, sometimes we're on the side of the road, so we have to make sure we're aware of where the traffic is and all those sorts of things. So while the rescuing the koala is very important, our own safety is probably equally, if not more important. Some of the things we're not allowed to do when we rescue koalas, we're not allowed to shake the tree they're in, we're not allowed to cut the tree down, we're not allowed to cut the branch off that they're sitting on, so we can't do any of that. We can't actually use our rescue poles that we use to actually hit the koala, so we can't do any of that stuff. So the safety of the koalas is most important as well. If the koala starts to get stressed, we have to stop and give the koala a chance to chill out a little bit before we continue the rescue. There's a whole bunch of rules behind us going up and rescuing the koala. Today the koala's down fairly low, so we can reach it with our rescue poles. If the koala's further up the tree and we can't get up to it with our rescue poles, we've got a cherry picker that we can use. It's on the back of the rescue vehicle there, and we can get up even further. I think that's about it for the ground rules. Yep. So we'll just give you a quick, so there's a little fluffy koala in the tree there tied to a pole. Ken's going to control the koala, and Heather and I will show you how we rescue it. So we've got a pole here. With a plastic bag on the end. Koalas don't like having plastic bags waved around them, so what we'll do is we'll get the pole up above the koala, shake the flag around. We'll sometimes have another person with another pole so we can control the koala's movement. Get it to come down to a level that we can grab it, and we'll grab it and put it in the basket and bring it back to the hospital. That's about it. I suppose we're just going to use one pole today because it's a fairly simplified demonstration. Koalas are very agile up in the tree. They can jump from tree to tree and from branch to branch, so sometimes getting the koala into a position where we can rescue it is quite difficult and takes us a lot longer than we're going to take today. And despite their cute and cuddly appearance, koalas have very good teeth and very sharp claws, so when we're handling koalas, we use welding gloves. For our own protection, and they can bite through here as well.
Hi ladies.
Minimises some of the damage. Okay.
How are they meant to get that thing down?
So what we'll do is we'll try and bring the koala down to a level where Heather can grab it with the net, and once we've got it under control of the net, we'll grab the koala and put it in the basket. So I'll get the pole up above the koala, give it a bit of a shake around, the koala will start to come down. Bring it down. We always grab the koala from behind, and you grab it by the forearms and we pull them out to the sides, that way they can't spin their head around and latch on us with their teeth, and they can't get us with their claws from standing in front of them. So we'll get them down into the basket, put the lid on, get a couple of knuckle push straps on to keep it secure. There's our koala rescued and secure and ready to transport to the hospital.
All right. There's a koala rescue. So we're going to...
obviously a simplified demonstration and a lot easier than what a real one would go. But yeah, any questions? No? Thank you.
All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go back into the sanctuary and we're going to have a little look in the sanctuary because I'm not sure if we've managed to save the second half of my previous tour. When I looked on YouTube, I couldn't see the entire section with all the live koalas. So we're going to go back in and at least we'll have that available to us. So here we go. We're walking into the koala sanctuary. We're going to see which koalas are out and about. We actually saw some amazing activity when we came in here earlier, and I don't know, but it looks like I lost all that footage. So I just really need to try and figure out what's going on. But anyway, here we are. We're at the sanctuary. We're celebrating the 3rd birthday of the Koala Sanctuary here in Port Stephens today. We've just watched a whole bunch of dignitaries doing their thing. This is the hospital part over here. So that's where I volunteer. They've got the gates open at the moment. I'm not sure that that's normally what's supposed to happen, but anyway. So in these yards here are koalas that are needing extra special attention. And there's also some other animals in here as well. So down in there, that's an aviary. We've got a sooty owl down there at the moment, and there's also some possums, and there's a little wallaby joey down in there, but that's not publicly accessible. So there's a lot of money has been invested into this wonderful sanctuary. These are the yards that are accessible to the public, but only via the walkway. So when we go in to actually do the care of the yards, we come in through these gates here. And you can see we've got rakes and tubs and everything, and that's all for the volunteers to use. You saw Basil. See, I can't see that on the recording. I hope you managed to get some postcards of him, Michelle. When I went back to look on YouTube, I've made it all public now. There was only... It stopped here. This is where the camera cut out because I had it overheated. Normally, Streamlabs joins all the footage together, and it's telling me that I've got 54 minutes of video, and then when I go and have a look I can only see 21 minutes, so I don't know what's going on. Wasn't he gorgeous though? He was so beautiful. And then sitting on top of the roof of the gunya, God, he was gorgeous. So over on this side over here, these are the glamping tents. So if you're prepared to pay quite a lot of money, it's pretty expensive, but how amazing, you can actually stay in these glamping tents right here at the Koala Sanctuary. So this used to be just a caravan park basically, and next door to a koala. It wasn't actually a hospital, it was, you know, a couple of relocatable sheds and some really committed residents of the local area. And they would, you know, provide what care they could to this area. Now let's see if Basil's still down. Let's see if he's out and about and still hanging around and moving around, or if he's gone back up the tree. Oh, that'd be awesome. Thanks for that, Michelle. Because he was just looking gorgeous. All right, so there's Basil up there. You can see him. The sun's making it a bit tricky, but he's awake and looking into the sun, unfortunately. Let me see if I can expand the screen. Now, where is he? I've got the chat in front of the screen now, so all right, he is there. He is there, center of screen now. So there's Basil. Now last time, for anyone who missed it, last time he doesn't have the use of his one of his back legs, so he can't climb properly, and he was, you know, like a chimpanzee, climbing down that branch just with his forearms.
This one had it.
Laurie, I understood. 58 minutes long. Okay, excellent. Fantastic. All right, great. I will go back in and have a look at that later. But when I tried to look at it through my mobile phone, it was showing me only 21 minutes. So hopefully it's all there now, because it was such good footage. I was able to get in so close to him. So Basil's story, let me just get that for you in case you missed it previously. Here's his story here. And it says Basil was found stranded on a busy road with an injured leg. He had been separated from his mum, Rosemary, who was also injured, and later found, it's hard to read, sorry, hang on. Later found nearby. Rosemary's fractured arm was, I can't read that. Anyway, there we go. That's the information. Oh, thank you so much, Laurie. I was so upset when I thought that I only had half my tour, so I'm so glad it's still there. All right. Hi, Catherine. And hi, ladies. I think I said hi to you all, but in case I didn't, because I'm a little bit frazzled. Okay, here's Ty. Ty's in the same spot that we saw him last time. And Ty's the one who has some neurological damage, which means that when he eats, he drools. Whoops. Yeah, when he eats, he drools, and he gets all this sort of green gunk down the front of his coat. And when we go in there and clean, we try and give him a bath as well. So that's Ty. Sweet little thing he is. Let me show you the information about Ty. So I went on early because of the koala rescue demonstration. So this is tying into what was meant to start 20 minutes later. And we'll scoot down to the hospital and listen to the hospital talk shortly. But Ty was found disoriented and not moving near one of our plantations in September in 2018. And it's thought that he may have fallen out of a tree or been hit by a car. He had white spots in the middle of each eye. So he's basically blind. And they can't be released back into the wild if they're blind. And then over here we've got Marie, and Marie's blind as well. It's a sweet little Marie. She was really active when I was in here helping to clean out her yard a couple of weeks ago. But of course they sleep for 18 to 20 hours a day, so she's doing what they do. And all right, so where is he? All right, now this one, when we were here, he was right up the very top. Let me see if I can see him again. He was right up the top up there. Let me see if I can find him. Oh, there, I've got him. All right, now he is just above that fork. There he is. So this is Blinky.
He's the most active.
There's Blinky.
Look how high that one is. Look how high that one is. Look, can you see it all the way up? Yeah. Lex, can you see that one all the way up high?
There we go. That's Blinky. All right. So let's get back down to where the hospital talk is going to be taking place. I'm so happy that the footage was saved. Oh gosh, I was getting really frazzled and upset. Who's in here? This is Galloping Jacks, aged male. Let me see if we can find him. I think he was in the gunya earlier. So another motor car accident. Melbourne Cup Day 2019. For those who don't know, Melbourne Cup Day is our national big horse racing day. Some people love it, some people hate it. but in Victoria it's a public holiday in Melbourne. And it used to be the highest prize money horse race in the country, but I think that's been overtaken by something that happens in Sydney now. I can't see Jax. Can't see him at all. No, can't see him. I think he was down in the gunya earlier, but I don't know where he is now. Of course, sometimes they hide in amongst the just the leaf, so he could be over there, just in amongst that leaf. And Solstice, can we see Solstice? Another motor vehicle accident. You know, it's a recurring theme, isn't it? So, Solstice, where are you? Are you up there somewhere? Middle of the day is a hard time to find koalas as well. That's when they're most likely to be not very active. So some of the trees in some of the yards have sleeves around the base, so climbing is discouraged. But this one doesn't, so I'm assuming that it's okay. They're happy for Solstice to climb. So he's not going to be limited to just the gunya. He could be up in the tree, but I can't see him. All right, the wind's picking up, so let me just sort out my microphone. And we'll head down to the hospital and see if we can, if we're in time for the talk that the hospital are going to give. So what I was hoping to do today, but I know that this tour is at an awkward time in some parts of the world. So, and I can see there's only 5 people on this tour. And I will leave the recordings up, which is why I'm so happy that that first one has been successful. Is we're hoping to actually adopt a koala. That's really what we're hoping to do. So I'm hoping that I raise enough from these 2 tours that we can actually adopt a koala. So I'm relying on you guys to share those recordings as well. And really, you know, tell everyone that, hi Tariq, tell everyone about this amazing place, this incredible place. Tell them about the recording, share it with your friends, share it in the groups, in your Facebook groups. I've just paused here because this is a little koala graveyard. It's obviously not all the koalas survive when they're brought in. And so this space here is actually a little koala graveyard. So if we can raise $200, and I know that's huge, I know that's a big ask, but if we can raise $200 before next weekend, like has to be September, we can adopt every animal in the place. So we will have a full adoption sponsorship card for every koala and every other animal that's in this amazing facility. So I think that's a really good reason to get the message out far and wide as much as possible. Spread it in other groups. If you're in other groups, I don't care about their rules about not posting about other guides. Seriously, this is bigger than being precious around guide territory. You heard Georgie when she spoke. There's a very real risk that koalas will be extinct in 30 years if we don't do everything we can to help ensure their longevity. So, yeah, anyway. Just trying to figure out whether the hospital talk is going to be back up at the visitor centre or at the hospital itself. Let me just go up to the hospital first. And while we're over here, I'll just show you this incredible, this is the most amazing grass tree I think I've ever seen. It's in full flower. So those 2 big gigantic stalks have got the little cream coloured flowers all over them right now. So that's the grass tree, just looking stunning. Hi, Dawn. It is, isn't it, Michelle? It's an amazing facility. And the other thing, I took a recording. It's not actually part of the tour, but I will share it as well. I took it in portrait mode, so I'll share that as a separate little video on YouTube. When the general manager of this facility, the name of Georgie, gave the speech as part of the official proceedings, she mentioned also that because it's a sanctuary, even though in the wild